Okay, interesting. You've used the white lines to good effect in your starting formation, which is quite an important thing for you to bear in mind. Just a slight query about this sort of thing here, whether you're using to full effect the bodies when they're stacked vertically, and from some judging positions a number of those bodies would disappear, and a horizontal line, you know, kind of this sort of thing, you see more body, okay, and that makes more visual impact. Okay, you see there hasn't been much movement to start with, and okay, you're building the tension. Hopefully you'll get off very quickly. Now, unfortunately, coming forward, try to evolve the form rather than just go forward and backwards at the beginning. So we have a change of a physical change of direction. We should. It's important to have at the beginning, to get that impact, an unfolding, explosive visual change. Okay. Okay, straightforward crisscrosses. Now look at the flags and listen to the melody. Da do da do da da. A sustained note at the end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Finish. Okay. So what you need to do is make the flags paint the melody in the air, as it were. Okay, quite nice rifle work going on here, I notice, and showing up well in the light, sparkle on them. But see what you've done with hiding them. Okay. There's actually a rifle behind there being masked somewhere. Okay. So watch out for masking. Now let's have a look at balance of form. This side relative to the line on the ground, as opposed to this side. Okay. They just had a bit of a shift of opinion there, where the form should be balanced. Now, intervals, just to try and get them even. All right. A little soft on the turn outwards here by the brass, when they turned sideways. Nice effect from the colour guard, I noticed at the back there. Well, the pom-pom's working quite well. Okay, rifle effect interesting. A little bit more body into it if you can. This is a little dull, this brass and percussion stuff, just a little follow the leader thing. And the demand in that could be increased if they weren't just following behind the one in front, but actually had a route path for every individual across the ground, which was slightly more difficult to learn, shall we say. Okay, rifles watch your hand positions, especially when the equipment is in the air. We'll try rehearsing with the rifles go up, the hands go to the waist, both of them. Hit the waist, hit the rifle, okay? Ready, and up, and waist, and rifle. That sort of order. Okay, that's quite pretty. That effect at the back from the guard looks nice. Watch the balance of these shapes. Two lines of the brass, the diagonals. A little messy here. Okay, what's this supposed to be? Here was an untidy looking transition. Now you don't want to be here for long. This stacking, see how you make them visually disappear. That's the sort of thing you pass through and then quickly move. So it looks like you've got a wedge ready for rotation here, and a pivot through 45 degrees of this block would actually be helpful visually. All right, the sticks and cymbals look all right on those drums, but again, momentary thing that you want to pass that position and get on with the next thing. It's all been a bit static for so long, and then you never in the end actually did the rotation. And that doesn't look very attractive, that sidestepping effect that you did in the percussion. So I would definitely recommend that you start rehearsing, changing the whole block round, making a V and then kind of maybe coming out the other side. Okay, where have you staged the rifles now? You see, is that the most effective place to put them? And aren't the pom-poms slightly masked here when they have no particular reason to be in the middle? And when they were forming the middle of a block which was rotating, that was interesting. But now, okay, nice visuals coming from the bell section. And again, from the, the mood of the music came over quite well. The cymbal effect was noted and stuff down the center there. But it wasn't much travel or evolution of form or building of changing pictures. Moving pictures is what we're looking for in this business. Okay, as you can see, we have a stand post in the way. This thing on the right here needs to be a little bit cleaner and crisper. Maybe you put those little things in a stand so that they can actually just whip them up as they pass by, and it looks as a surprise to us, rather than a laborious equipment change. Equipment changes for color guard are often their biggest problem. Okay. Now, why is this little effect at the back here sort of so backward facing, all right? Why can't we have everybody focused on the audience a bit more? And the judges, of course, who give the points away. The old problem with streamers, see them getting caught around the neck. Look at the balance of form in your brass section here. Okay. Now that's interesting, isn't it? Look at the line on the floor on side 2 here. Look at the line on the floor on side 1 here. And there's all these people all the way over here. Now once again, this has been very static. We haven't moved a lot. Should be changing the form and moving it, evolving the formation. Giving us something more interesting to watch. Okay, now look at this. Don't do this, okay? Don't walk through sections with flags and rifles. Make it one of your golden rules. If you're going to channel the flag and rifle sections through anywhere at all, give them a proper route path. They crowd the drummers or the brass. You'll prevent the flags and rifles from working properly, and it's like one of the cardinal sins. It always produces problems. Okay, when you get to like world-class standard, you might be able to find a way of solving it. But in the meantime, you know, try to avoid those things and organize it more effectively. Okay, it's a bit of a transitional period, isn't it? This rather repetitive flag work and the rifles just coming center. Rifle, that's nice. Choreographic interpretation there. Yeah, so the decoration is quite pleasant, okay? The color guard stuff is quite interesting. And the rifle work looks very competent. But let's just look at the pattern behind and consider also whether the formation is evolving or traveling. There's this sort of 6 people is not really enough to make a clear definition of a circle, so it could be a hexagram or whatever, okay? And then we look at the other side and look at the situation regarding the center line, and we sort of see this hole about here, and you think, well, okay, there's actually 6 people there, but there's 2 in the front, 2 at the back, and 1 either side. Here there's 1 in the front, 1 at the back, and 2 either side. So the form needs proper balance, proper construction, and then a strange place to put the pom-poms, you know. What kind of complementary formation is this actually meant to be? Now, eventually, it takes me about 5 minutes to say, okay, it's 007. Why did it take, you know, why did it take that long? And if it is 007, why are these bass drums sitting there out of the form? Probably use one in each of the circles or something, okay? Or maybe put the rifles or flags into the 7 and use the pom-poms and drums and then use the brass and, you know, make it a bit bigger, a bit clearer, okay, what the form is. And it really must evolve and develop, you see, and that's also the finish of the display. So that means the whole of the last tune was actually static in terms of formation maneuvering. And, okay, what you needed to do was, like, put the 007 maybe over here, right, making the 3 distinct pieces without all the extra gubbins around the back and the front. 3 distinct circles, 007 there, and then float it across the arena to here. And when it gets here, okay, we've seen that bit now, perhaps push it forward a few counts, and then evolve the shape, and then begin to build to a dynamic climax. So we've now seen the literal translation of the Bond thing. Let's go on now to something which interprets the mood, maybe, and change the form and develop to a conclusion, a climax of audio-visual feeling, okay, that keep that nice rifle interpretation stuff, but try to do it in the moving formation and bringing us up to a conclusion. Say there's a build and 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 a hit at the end visually, and that matches with the music. Okay, well, thank you very much for a very crisp display, very nice and tidy, but you do have to, as I say, start thinking about a bit more challenge in your maneuvering, moving pictures, moving geometry, interpretation of the music. But thank you for the display, well done.